I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the Special District Association responsible for bringing the area free-to-access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station, so if there's a news story or event information you'd like to share, call us at 970-677-4119. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Friday program for August 14th, 2020, DCTV Daily News. So the gorgeous sunrises and sunsets are a factor of the smoke and particles in the air, and this new background is from a recent sunrise. So out-of-state fires in California and Arizona continue to add particulates, but here in Colorado we are also still seeing wildfires on our western slope. We are seeing more fires in the western Colorado region as the drought continues and no rains in the forecast. Conditions are dry and dangerous for wildfire outbreaks. The Journal updated on the grizzly fire near Glenwood Springs with a photo Chelsea Glenwood Springs Post. Fueled by drought conditions, wildfires burning in western Colorado continued to grow on Thursday in warm, windy weather. The Grizzly Creek Fire east of Glenwood Springs, which has shut down a 57-mile portion of Interstate 70 for 4 days, had grown to nearly 10 square miles by Thursday. It's mostly spreading to the west into the No Name Creek drainage. If it crosses it, parts of Glenwood Springs north of I-70 would be put on pre-evacuation notice, the Glenwood Springs Post Independent reported. Some homes east of Glenwood Springs have been evacuated, and residents on the north end of the city have been told to be prepared to leave if the fire intensifies. Homes have also been evacuated by a wildfire that was started by lightning on July 31st north of Grand Junction. The Pine Gulch Fire had grown to about 107 square miles and was 7% contained as of Thursday. The closure of I-70 has forced drivers headed east or west across Colorado to take long detours around the interstate. Colorado Highway 82 over Independence Pass near Aspen was closed on Wednesday after heavy traffic on the sometimes narrow mountain road, which was not a recommended detour, created unsafe conditions. Multiple vehicles towing trailers became stuck on the pass, the Colorado Department of Transportation said. And one of the biggest fires in Colorado, as we mentioned, the Pine Gulch Fire, continues to grow. The Pine Gulch Fire exploded from 69,135 acres on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. and grew to 73,381 acres by this morning, Friday the 14th, according to fire officials. This is a photo Wyoming Hotshots. There's an estimated 750 firefighters on that scene. That fire was apparently started by a lightning strike on July 31st. The Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team reports it remains, again, only at 7% contained. The fire is burning just under 20 miles north of Grand Junction, Colorado in Mesa County. Today, a Type 1 Incident Management Team will be taking over operations there. Again, remember, we are in a no-burn ban. Please be very careful with any sparks. And now let's take a look at that local weather forecast with still no rain for the next 5 days. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 90 degrees, with east-northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour, shifting west-southwest in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and a low around 59 degrees with northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into Saturday, sunny with a high near 91 or more, northeast winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour, shifting to the northwest. Saturday night, clear and a low around 58 degrees with northwest winds, 10 to 15 miles an hour, and then shifting to be light and variable in the nighttime. For Sunday, another sunny day and a hot high near 92 or more with light and variable wind becoming north-northwest 5 to 10 miles an hour in the afternoon. For Sunday night, clear and a low around 59, and into next week, repeat the same thing. Monday, sunny with a high near 91 or more. Monday night, mostly clear, a low around 59. And for Tuesday, mostly sunny, again a high around near 92 degrees. Tuesday night, mostly clear and a low around 59. And for Wednesday, again, sunny and clear and dry and hot and a high near 91 or more. Wednesday night, mostly clear and a low around 58. And now, back to the news. The Norwood Post wrote about their town's ordinances and how that's working out or not. Nearly 2 months ago, letters were issued to all households in the town of Norwood as an explanation of the town's ordinances, which were approved by town trustees at a regular monthly meeting. Those ordinances apply to dog licensure and also unsightly weeds and broken down vehicles on a property. The ordinances have been enforceable this summer since June 17th, and Town Administrator Patty Grandmeyer said warnings are being issued by both Marshal Mike Wilkerson and Deputy Travis Hardy. Regarding dog licenses, it costs between $10 and $20 to register a dog. The letter also states that a leash law is in place and dogs off leashes are considered running at large. Fines exist for failing to comply with the town's licensure or breaking the leash law. Grafmeyer said that some people are responding. Quote, "We did have a bit of an uptick in people getting dog licenses, and we still have some of those out there," she said. Marshal Mike is talking to the manager of Cottonwood Creek Estates. He's making sure residents understand dogs have to be licensed. Grafmeyer said dog licensing is about safety. For dogs, licensing is important, just so mostly when you are a good pet owner, you make sure if your pet does get loose or is gone, that's the best way to get that pet home, she said. The fact that we have that license and that we require the rabies shot to get one, it's 2 ways of checking. Grafmeyer said though the town doesn't have, quote, mean dogs, it's also important to have safeguards in place because, quote, things do happen. The town has ways of keeping people safe if a dog bite happens. It's about safety for our animals and our town inhabitants, she said. Regarding the weeds and the broken down cars, Grafmeyer agreed the issue is taking care of the town and keeping up with the recent beautification efforts. Per the ordinance, weeds are not to exceed 12 inches in height. Fines of up to $300 are possible if those not in compliance. And she added that in a drought year like Norwood is currently experiencing, and where wildfires is serious danger, excessive weeds also pose a fire risk. She said if a person didn't have the money or tools to deal with weeds, the town could take care of the issue and bill the resident later. Still, she said that option creates more problems with paperwork and taxes for the town. As far as abandoned vehicles or salvage type materials go, households have a week to either move cars or register them and get them up to date. Towing at a household expense is possible for those violating the ordinance. Grafmeyer said that most people comply after receiving a warning by Norwood's law enforcement. Most people, when contacted, take care of it one way or another, she said. We have really good people living on this mesa, according to Grafmeyer. Several warnings have been issued by both officers, and at this point, no formal citations have been written. Here in Dove Creek, the town board is working with a new ordinance enforcement division. They're hiring to collaborate with the town residents on complying with what has been approved as to resolutions, including the trash around houses and overgrown weeds, etc., so as not to cause a condemned property or health hazard for our town residents. Utah's San Juan County School Board finalized their plans ahead of the start of the academic school year later this month. Reported by David Boyle out of Monticello, Utah, the San Juan Record News. Key items passed include 100% remote learning for students in the south part of the county for the start of the year. The district moved the first day of school for students from Thursday, August 20th to Monday, August 24th. Also, for schools open for in-person learning, a 90-minute block of time will be set aside for teacher preparation. Superintendent Ron Nielsen reported to the board that 90 to 95% of survey results and registration from parents preferred at-home learning in the river region of the district. Students who attend schools from Bluff all the way to Navajo Mountain will receive distance learning provided by their teachers, at least through the first quarter of the school year. Nielsen says the decision matches recommendations made by Navajo Nation President Nez and local chapter leaders. Quote, "So when we saw the support was unified, I feel that now, with that much support in that area, it is my recommendation that we move the whole regions to 100% virtual. We will work individually with those few parents that may have selected in person to try to help them understand what drove that change. The district will also suspend programs that bus up to 100 students from the river region to the public schools in Blanding." Nielsen says the decision also had support from chapter leaders. Quote, "It didn't make sense to bring students out of that region to this region in person. There are other things that played in as well, such as curfews, activities that would possibly violate curfews in place. This recommendation, in essence, would say those students are virtual as well because they're in that region. This is not saying those buses in any way are not going to continue long term. They would continue, end quote. As part of distance learning efforts, the district is continuing to work to bring internet connectivity to southern part of San Juan County. The district is supportive of the fiber project that would bring internet connectivity into towns south of Blanding. The project is currently waiting on finalizing right-of-way agreements with the Ute Mountain Tribe through White Mesa. Another connectivity project is providing Wi-Fi hotspots to homes of students in the district. A final project under consideration would bring extended local area networks to provide filtered low-speed internet to the communities surrounding local schools. The program would install radio receivers in homes that could pick up signals at a distance from towers on or near SJSD schools. A bid for the project came in at $3.95 million, with yearly maintenance costing between $172,000 and $345,000 a year, depending on the level of service. While the district has not budgeted funds for the project, with bids in hand, they are hopeful to receive aid through the Utah Governor's Office of Economic Development, GODE, the CARES Act, and other entities that have previously offered to support internet connectivity projects. School board member Nelson Yellowman pointed out that the Navajo Nation has also set aside $90 million to help enable distance learning. Nielsen also reports that there is a growing number of students in the river region who have been unable to participate in driver's ed. The district is exploring options of how to possibly implement driver's ed in schools in the southern portion of the district. Schools throughout the entire district will revise their daily schedule to create a 90-minute time block for teachers to complete the increased responsibilities related to both in-person and virtual teaching. Schools with in-person instruction will have to either implement a late start or an early dismissal to accommodate the 90 minutes of teacher prep time. The board weighed the merits of 9 a.m. start time with 3:30 p.m. release versus an 8 a.m. start time with a 2:30 release. Ultimately, they've moved to leave that decision in the hands of the school administration based on surveys from parents and teachers. Parents can expect to receive the survey from the district soon. Nielsen indicated that he'd like a decision to be made as early as Tuesday, August 18th. On either a late start or early dismissal, middle schools and high schools in the district will see school periods decrease in length by about 5 minutes on most days. Schools in the mountain region will begin with in-person instruction. One recommendation approved by the board moves the student return date from Thursday, August 20th to Monday, the 24th. The move gives teachers and staff at schools in Blanding, Monticello, and LaSalle 2 additional days to receive training and prepare for the school year during a pandemic. Students and staff at school will be required to wear a face covering. In anticipation of in-person learning, the school district has ordered 2 neck gaiters for each student in the district. A recent study by Duke University showed that cloth masks can be nearly as effective as surgical masks. The study does, however, call into question the effectiveness of neck gaiters and even suggests neck gaiters may be worse than no covering. The school district is working closely with the county health department to evaluate the use of gaiters. While the gaiters would be given out at no cost to students, the district does not require students wear the school-issued gaiters. Only a face covering of some sort is required. So here's the skinny on the casting call in Mancos for a television series pilot to be shot in Montezuma County. The Journal reported that a local novelist and a well-known film and television director have teamed up to produce a television series based in the Southwest and filmed here in Montezuma County. Chuck Greaves, a mystery novel writer living in McElmo Canyon, and Felix Enriquez Alcala, a director known for his work on episodes of highly rated television shows like The Good Wife, Criminal Minds, and Breaking Bad, are recruiting Montezuma County locals for small roles and as crew members. Greaves and Alcala live in Montezuma County and were inspired to create something that would also boost the local economy. Quote, "We want to bring a television company to Montezuma County," Greaves said. "A production like that would bring what we would spend approximately $3 million per episode for each of the 6 episodes. The two met 6 months ago through a mutual friend and decided over dinner to work on a project. Their experience in Montezuma County gave rise to a television show idea titled Badwater. But Alcala knew from experience that if they took the typical route to create a television show, partnering with a production company and a distributor, they would lose creative control. So, quote, it would go through so many changes, Greaves said, so what we are going to do is completely different. Greaves and Alcala plan to produce the pilot episode independently with private funding and then shop the pilot around for a company to pick up. The process would allow Greaves and Alcala to control the final product much more readily than we would otherwise, Greaves said. Alcala connections in the industry and his experience directing a variety of projects would allow him and Greaves to, quote, make a quality television show at half the price, Greaves said. Filming is set for 10 to 15 days in October in Cortez, Mancos, and Dolores. Alcala said that the mayors of Cortez and Mancos have been supportive of the project. Alcala hopes to film in iconic buildings like the old county courthouse. Shooting and sourcing the cast and crew locally would boost local trade and the economy, Greaves and Alcala said. If the television show were picked up, the producers would include a nonprofit component to teach locals about acting, trades, and what goes into making a television show, Greaves said. Montezuma County residents are invited to an open casting call on Tuesday, August 18th at the Mancos Community Center on 130 Grand Avenue from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The contemporary series is about a small southwestern town that borders a Native American reservation, so Native American actors are encouraged to join the casting call, Greaves said. Alcala's idea for the show was inspired by current injustices, especially racial injustice. Quote, Badwater is about the, quote, gray area of drama. There are no clear good guys and bad guys, Alcala said. Everyone's just trying to fix issues. As a Mexican-American who grew up in Texas, Alcala said that he had to push every inch of the way to accomplish what he has. They just don't let you into the industry, Alcala said. Major characters of the story include a Native leader, a white sheriff, a black social worker, and a Latina district attorney. Greaves and Alcala say that they would hire a Native writer for the series. Quote, we want to train people in the writer's room as well as pay them minimum wage, Alcala said. It would be a great honor to say we started something for the community. The film and television industry in New Mexico is a $2 billion industry, and it would be, quote, exciting to start a film community in southwest Colorado, Alcala said. Resumes and headshots are encouraged but not required. According to a press release, actors and crew would be paid wages that align with the Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, Greaves said. The pair want to line up 41 to 45 cast members within 3 to 4 weeks, Alcala said. He emphasized that masks and social distance rules will be followed during the casting call per SAG-AFTRA guidelines. The, quote, union in California will shut us down if we don't, Alcala said. Production in October would require a nurse on set and testing for the cast 3 times a week, Greaves said. Casting for actors and extras, again, is from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, August 18th at the Mancos Community Center, 130 Grand Avenue, with resumes and headshots encouraged but not required. And these stories and more are posted on our Facebook page, which is DCTV Daily News, where you can also watch the program replay along with the news links and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news there and join in on the conversation. This is your local community TV station, so if you have something that you would like to share, you can contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119. Thank you for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast on Monday through Friday, with replays online on our YouTube channel and DCTV Daily News page on Facebook. And if you like the program, please do like us and follow us on Facebook and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA, the pinto bean capital of the world. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching and have a wonderful weekend.